according to sources, party leaders asked both the president and the Prime Minister to resign. They suggest that the Speaker be made acting President of Sri Lanka. At the Speaker's residence, an urgent party leaders meeting is currently underway. Several other leaders, including Prime Minister, AKT and Sumantiran, in fact, participated via a Zoom link. A decision has been made to ask both the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to resign. The Speaker, they want him to take over as acting President according to the Constitution. So that's the important piece of information that's coming in right now from Colombo of party leaders who attended that meeting which was called by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to, of course, deal immediately with this crisis which is unfolding on the streets of Sri Lanka. They want both the President and the Prime Minister to step down immediately, and they want the Speaker of Sri Lanka to in fact assume the charge of President temporarily until, of course, they can find a more permanent solution to this crisis at the moment. But as you heard from the people also, you heard from a resident there who was speaking to us live from the ground in Colombo, Murtaza. He also said that the people's demand is that both the President and the Prime Minister immediately tender in their resignations. The people have lost faith in both President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, and they want them to step down immediately. They want a complete change of regime. Remember, the situation and the economic crisis in Sri Lanka is such that it will take at least some months, if not more, 6 months at least, before, someone can, of course, get a grip over the crisis, at least contain it. But the people, of course, are frustrated. Akshaya Nath, my colleague, breaking this piece of information right now. Akshaya, what you're telling us right now is that party leaders who attended that meeting called by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe have demanded that both the President and the Prime Minister step down immediately and the Speaker assume charge as acting President.
Well, Paulomi, we're getting news from Sri Lanka where Rauf Hakim, who is a member of the parliament, he is Sri Lankan Muslim Congress's member, he has tweeted out stating that, during the meeting, while Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe had joined the meeting via Zoom, it was made very clear that the popular sentiment is asking for both the President and the Prime Minister to step down and seeking Speaker to take up the temporary position as the President as per the Constitution of Sri Lanka. But right now he's also said on social media that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has disagreed, and the Speaker, however, had decided to write to both President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to resign as per the overwhelming popular request and demand among the members of the parliament that both Ranil Wickremesinghe and Gotabaya Rajapaksa, both of them step down from the positions that they're currently holding. So we're getting news from the meeting that is going on right now that, demand has been put forward by the Member of Parliament of All Party meeting that both President and the Prime Minister steps down. And right now we're being told that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has disagreed, because of which Speaker will be writing to both of them demanding their resignation, because that is the popular demand in Sri Lanka. And evident to that, we've seen that people of Sri Lanka have also gone out on the roads. They have, stormed into the presidential secretariat, into the President's official residence, which is the Janadipati Mavata, and also the Prime Minister's official residence, which is Temple Tree, all of them which are located very close to each other. If you see, it forms a triangle in Sri Lanka within a radius of 2 to 3 kilometers. If you see, the Presidential Secretariat is where the protest was happening in Golf Face for the last 90 plus days. Just walk straight down the road and you will hit Temple Tree, and diagonally to that will be where the President's house is, which is Janadipati Mavata. So it forms a triangle technically, and the entire area is being stormed by the people of
So that is an important piece of information, viewers, that Akshay is bringing to us. One, that the party leaders, of course, at that meeting that was called by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe have demanded that both the President and the Prime Minister step down. But Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has dug his heels in. He has refused to resign. That should, of course, be one of the points that we will, of course, reflect on our screens as well. Ranil Wickremesinghe has dug his heels in. He will not resign. So now it has been decided that the Speaker will write to both the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and ask them to step down, because that is the overwhelming demand of all the party leaders who attended that meeting.